Hello everyone, this is BioPhoenix here, and today we're going to be talking about a very weird game today, which happens to be a requested game, and this game that happened to be requested to me was Cho Aniki. Now, I don't know if I said that right, but that's like how I'm going to say it. Now, the person that requested this happens to be named after Jason Michelucci. I don't know if I also butchered your name too, but in case you don't know, I'll just put everything up there. Now, anyways, yeah, this guy requested me to do a very weird game, which happens to be only in Japan, and it was originally released on the PlayStation 1 in 1995. It was also ported onto the Sega Saturn a year later, but I'm going to be doing the PS1 version because this game, you can actually buy it off of the PSN. The game was developed by Masaya and was published by Nippon. I also don't know if I said those names right, but either way, they're Japanese companies. Now, this is actually a very weird fucking series, since it is very over the top, and not only that, but it's also like something that is like, as you would say, off the wall or something. So, yeah, it's basically a shoot 'em up game, but like just not like any ordinary one. It's a fucking weird one. Now, I was specifically said to do this one in particularly since, well, most of them are only based in Japan, and not only that, but this one is the only one I can actually get a copy of since it's only on PSN as for North Americans. So, without further ado, as soon as I press the X button on this controller, you're gonna see some really fucked up things. Like, your mind is gonna be shattered. So, let's begin. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you before even talking about the game is the intro. Just look at it. Yeah, from my understandings, we get some blue gingerbread guy with teeth, and then there's some muscle man in the background. I don't get it. From what I've read online about this series of games is that I've found out that this series of games is mostly heavily based around muscle guys wearing Speedos. Okay, that is a very weird concept, but you know what? Since it's so weird, I'm willing to accept it just because of the fact that it's not like I've ever seen any other game have some type of idea like this. But anyways, now the story for this game, I have no idea what it is since it's only in Japanese and I have no idea what's going on here, but this is what I can gather. But first thing you gotta know is that the full translation of the title is Super Big Brother, the ultimate most powerful man in the Milky Way. Yeah, they really called it that. Now when you first start the game, you're a guy with a Viking helmet spinning around in the air shooting lasers. And when you die, you see a picture of him dead with the selectable characters surrounding him. And I take it that the selectable characters have to save this guy, since I take it that this guy is the most powerful man in the Milky Way, blah, whatever. At least this is from what I understand of it. But if this was the case, just ask me one thing, is that if he really is the most powerful man in the Milky Way, then how the fuck does he die in one hit by some little puny fucking thing? Oh well, I guess shit happens. But there's actually much more of a bigger problem that I really don't understand, not with the story, but just with the way how they really did things. I don't know, I'll have to explain it. Now, if you watch this entire cutscene, you're gonna see this black guy on the ground saying something in Japanese, and then it's like a game over. That's pretty much what you see when you get a game over. But if you skip the cutscene, it just continues on to the regular game. Or if you somehow manage to get past the beginning part without getting hit by one single object, then the game just continues. Now that is a problem. I really don't know why it's like that, and I've been trying to figure out why it was like that, but this is just the best thing I can come up with. So yeah, let's just say that like, the people that made this game clearly had no intentions of making a big story for a game like this, so they decided to say, oh fuck it, no one's gonna watch this shit. But now, let's get on to the real fucking game here. And this is what it looks like. It's really messed up in the head. And like I said, it's a basic shoot 'em up, and a very hard one at that. And as you can see, there's also a lot of fucked up things, so let's go through some. Muscle guys on mopeds, a head flying by its fizzy hair, a muscle guy using a green muscle guy as a pogo stick and bouncing around, a muscle guy wearing a duck floaty, a muscle guy hanging off the edge of a missile. Yeah, I think with just those examples as it is, this game already proves you to enough that there's just so much wow going on that I can't keep up with it. But here's one good question, is that, what kind of madman made this game? Now as for the controls for this game, they're okay. They're very simple and easy to use, so no complaints, so that's why I'm just leaving it as okay. But one thing you do gotta know is that you have to use a D-pad, since this game was made before the DualShock was invented. Now as for the graphics for this game, they're not that great. I find for a really wacky game like this, the colors are really dark. And one thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that this game heavily uses digitized actors, but however, at least the ground looks okay. Yeah, the ground. But overall, I'd say that the graphics are not anything all that impressive. I mean, I know this is coming onto a new console at the time, but like, I don't know, it doesn't really do much. Now as for the music in this game, it's not that bad for the most parts. I find there are some songs in this game that are pretty catchy, but there is one really fucked up song, and that probably suits the theme very well because this game is so fucked up, is that just listen to the main menu music. Now that is some really fucked up type of music you got going there. It kind of sounds like a guy having an orgasm, but they decided to put the pitches at different tones so then it would make into a song formation. But in another way, it does kind of remind me of the YouTube poop videos that I used to watch when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I don't know if those types of videos are still popular, but I just remember that like the one that I always used to remember all the time was like when they used to make fun of the Zelda CDI games. Yeah, those were fucking classics. But anyways, the music overall in this game is nothing that memorable, but at least it's okay. Now one thing I probably should go over, because I think now is a good time, is that let's take a look at the bosses real quick. So the first boss is a guy on a machine with a metal dick, and like underneath him is like you see a guy pops out and he like stretches his arms on his head. Okay, I really can't take this shit seriously. Now the second boss is on a football field, and that is some fantastic crowd we just got going on in the background. And all they're doing is just watching me just shooting the shit out of some people. Now onto the boss. The first thing you see is, no, not John Madden, but you see a guy wearing purple pants. And then a bunch of guys like start running up onto the screen and they form a pyramid and they shoot lasers at you. Not only is it a pain in the ass to figure out why they came up with an idea like this for a boss, but it's also a pain in the ass to beat. But thankfully, when you do beat it, you actually get to feel pretty satisfied, since not only is that the fact that that was hard, but also the fact you just see their bodies go flying everywhere. And the third level is underwater stage, and this is where I get stuck at every time, because every time I get here, I always have one life left. And it's pretty hard to get some 1-ups, extra guys, a guy, or whatever you want to call it. And I just realized something. I've said the word a guy in this video a lot, since there is a lot of guys in this game. But there's also a lot of random floating heads in the game too. Wait, a guy and heads? Are they trying to tell me something here? I have no idea, but I mean, can you already tell that this is some druggy stuff as it is? Now, if you want to buy this game, it's only released in Japan, so if you want a physical copy, you'll have to import it. But the easiest thing to do is to going on the PSN store and downloading it for $5.99. And personally, I think that's the best option for a game like this. Now, if I were to rate this game, I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10. It's surprisingly a good game. It's just a really fucked up one, and it's also really hard as hell. And even at that, it's still pretty fun. And I find this game to be pretty addictive, since not only the fact that the game is very simple, easy to play, but it's really tough as nails, but you just really gotta keep playing the game, not only just to get better at it, but also, you just gotta be so curious to know what type of fucked up things that they're gonna be throwing at you next. But you never know, maybe on like the 50th level of the game, they're gonna throw guys on top of a big giant elephant that's like almost impossible to miss. Or maybe on the next level after that one, they're actually gonna bring in the real John Madden and he's gonna like fight the guy with the purple pants. Or better yet, okay, here is the best fucking thing ever. You're gonna have to fight Dick McFucker while he shoots dick missiles at you. Now, wouldn't that be funny? Now, one thing I would like to go over before ending this, there's also other things you can do, such as there's actually multiplayer in this game, without the 2 players. But unfortunately, I never got around playing this game 2 players because all my friends never wanted to play with me on this game because I take it they're probably scared. Although there is one thing that does kind of scare me in this game, like for real, and that is a video. Okay, that's enough of that. But overall, I think it's a really good shoot-'em-up game. Sure, it has a very strange concept, but I mean, I don't mind. I mean, as long as the game is fun, that's what counts. So let's end this video right here. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and commenting.